People look at her and they look at me. Sure living in luxury. Oh, you're live? Oopsie. People look at her and they look at me. And they say, boy living in luxury. Sweet luxury. Oh, no. Oh, good, we're live. Well, all right. To anybody watching this back, welcome to another Sunday live stream with me, self-proclaimed big no-no. People look at her and they look at me, and they say, boys living in luxury. Sweet luxury of love, it's more precious than gold. Can't be bought, no, never could be sold. Love share, and that makes me a millionaire. Truly duly. First of all, hello. I think I'm dealing with a little bit of depersonalization. Any tips? Sure. First of all, I empathize with you. When I was... First, let me say that if you're dealing with true clinical depersonalization, you're just going to need a ton of support in general. But if you're dealing with symptoms that sort of appear to be like DP, something that has been very helpful to me is just to be calm. So I think self-soothing in any way that is going to be good for relieving anxiety is great. Watching your caffeine intake, watching your sugar intake, watching your stress levels. I think breathing techniques could be really helpful to you. Shave the beard. And some stretching could be good for you. And talking about it could be good for you. Avoiding loud, overstimulating areas could be good for you. I hope that helps. Josh Oliveira says, hey, boss man. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Aaron Bouchelon says, shave the beard and keep the mustache. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I just don't know. How's your guys' Sunday going so far? To all of you guys, or girls, or people. Yeah, you got it, dude. Donna Scorpio says, hi, you look amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. How's your Sunday going so far? Can you guys hear me okay? I hope. I'm going to be kicking it here for a little bit. So there's 17 people here. I hope that everyone who's tuning in right now or just checking in feels comfortable enough to say hi and share everything that's on your mind, how your day's been, or what your thoughts are. Let me see how fast. Let me see if I can finally keep up with these messages. Josh says, any tips for OCD? I don't know that I do have any tips for OCD. It's not a great answer, but nothing really is coming to mind. It's not an area of mental health that I know a ton about. So, let's put that in the comments. What can we say to Josh here for some tips for OCD? I'm just barely coming to terms with certain aspects of my personality that are OCD. So I'm not sure. Annie Leonard says, no, I missed you. Thank you. That's nice to hear. And I missed you too, Annie. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Solar FN says, hey, bro, you have helped me so much with DPDR. Good, good. I'm glad to know that, for real. Jimmy Twardy says, hello. What's up, Jimmy? D Alex 77 says, what up, no, 107 days sober today, bro. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. It's a really, really, really big deal. I am 112. This is my 112th day sober. So we got sober within the same week, which is awesome. Life is something when you're sober, but it's much better. And so far in my experience, it's just much better. Also, for whatever it's worth, I just took off my pants because it's entirely too hot in here. And it makes no difference right now. All right. Noah Noah says, I can hear you, man. Cool. Solar says, thank you so much. Yeah, buddy. Hey, Moana says, just notified. Cool. Michael James helped me so much. I'm glad, Mike. Michael D. Boy says, loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you. Mama Vapes Beauty says, hey, everyone. Hey, Mama Vapes. B. Mill, I'm plus 70 days off Klonopin. That's a really, really big deal as well. Good for you. Oliver Hall says, hey there, what's up, Oliver? Hey, Moana, marvelous, awesome. Danny Leg says, looking healthy, Noah. Hope as well. Yeah, things are well today, guys. I really sincerely hope that you guys are doing okay as well. Noah says, Noah, B-E-R-N-D-T, burned it. I've been sober for 13 days, I'm trying to stay sober this time. Congrats to sobriety. Good for you. Those first 2 weeks, those first few days, that first month is a really, really big deal. And it's a can be a very trying time. I know my mind was playing a lot of tricks on me, and it was difficult. So good for you. Hang in there. Get support. Your mind will be trying to play tricks on you to get you back to drinking, that's for sure. Don't listen. Brazilian Dutchie says, Clay Chico. Bagwinder Science says, hi, I started drinking again after 24 days. Feel disappointed. Hey, I can relate and I understand. Be kind to yourself. Today's a new day. Tomorrow's a new day. Stay safe. Just keep trying, no matter what. Just keep trying if it's important to you. Guillermo Avale says, Noah, how are you? I love you. I love you too, man. I'm good today. I'm really good. I'm at home. I have like a family. I don't have like a family weekend. I have a family weekend, so I get to be at home. I'm still in treatment right now, but every other weekend I get to spend the whole weekend back in my house with my family, and by that I mean with my wife, which is a really, really big deal. Chad, what up, homie? Hey, Chad, thank you for the, like always. I hope, Chad, that you are sitting on some sort of lump sum, some sort of cash flow that is just crazy, so that this insane generosity is just like chump change to you. That I literally think that I'm like, God, I hope this guy is just loaded, so I don't somehow personalize your gratuity and your kindness and your support as like being something bad. But that's my stuff, isn't it? So as Chad says, what up, homie? Congratulations on 112 days. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you yet. I've also been promised. Good. I was wondering about that. Yeah, I'm glad to know that you got my email. That's for sure. So I definitely want to have a talk with you and just hear some of your story, get to know you a little bit, and just show you some respect and show you some support that way. So thank you. Don't spend any more money, bro. You're good. Robert Jenkins, another long time. I need to get your info too, Robert. It says, hey, Noah, $20 super chat. Thank you. Hey, Noah, I hope everything is going good with you. Really happy that you are sober again, this time for good. Amen. One day at a time. I have been doing okay with depression and OCD, learning slowly that I am not my thoughts. Stay strong, my bro. Hey, thank you, Robert. Stay strong to you as well. Thank you for being so generous and so supportive. It's very, very kind, and I appreciate it. And no, we are not our thoughts, and we definitely have the ability to challenge our thoughts and to question our thoughts and to not be ruled by them. Something that I want to share with you guys that has been really helpful to me is checking the reality of my thoughts, particularly the ones that I'm taking personal, or the ones that are creating an emotional response, some sort of hormone dump, a stress response. And it's just, it's something that they work with us on like crazy in rehab. It's the foundation of everything we do there is identifying what part of our thoughts are true, and can we prove it. And so I have a video coming out tomorrow on ABC therapy, and it's been really, really helpful to me. But when a thought comes up in your mind that creates a negative emotion, make that your activating event. What I encourage you and challenge you guys to do is question the validity of that thought in terms of its reality. Can you prove that whatever it is you're thinking that's upsetting you is true? And it has to be beyond a shadow of a doubt. And if not, what are some new belief systems you can put around to combat that thought and establish some new reality-based thoughts? Anyhow, I also want to say that this is something way outside my hula hoop, is the work that I've done regarding trauma. I've noticed that some of the thoughts I've been having over the years that have been really, really uncomfortable and particularly painful were rooted in a lot of childhood trauma that I didn't realize were trauma-based. So I think it's really cool to learn about it, and I certainly think everyone could benefit from working with a skilled professional to dig into some of those what might be covert traumas as opposed to really, really obvious traumas. But trauma is a real thing. I think I want to go to school and become a psychologist or a therapist or something. But that's neither here nor there right now. Thank you two for the support very much. Okay, where were we, guys? 82 bucks is, hi Noah, hope you're doing well, buddy. You've helped me so much over the last 7 years. I appreciate that, 82 bucks. I really do. You guys have all been more helpful to me than I have the words to express. So, Marina Black Yarn says, hey Noah, you are amazing and thank you for all your videos. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I am. I really am. It's impossible to deny. And I hope you're doing well today as well. B Mill says, breathing exercises. Yeah, all day. Nolan Summer says, glad you're doing good, man. You've helped me with so much. You have no clue. I wish you the absolute best. Ever try CBD, hemp, or oil? It's helping me with anxiety and depression. I have an unrealistic fear of CBD that I'm encouraged to challenge. There's been a few things that I have been responding to in life with far too much anxiety, with very little reality. CBD is one of them. I think because I suffered from depersonalization, derealization disorder, I'm afraid to try anything new out of some irrational fear that it's going to upset my mental state. It's a trauma thing. Hey Moana says, Wellbutrin, great for OCD. Okay. Emma Delici says, good to see you. Question, coffee or tea? And any particular bean blend tea flavor? This is coffee. I don't often drink coffee this late in the day, but I didn't have too much this morning. I took a nap today, which was amazing. Sunday naps are the best. They're the best. But yeah, I just wanted a little bit. I don't know what this is. It's a medium roast. Hey, Jess! What kind of coffee is this? My wife's. Okay. Oh, I know it's from Costco. No. Someone's asking me what I'm drinking. Someone asked me what I'm drinking. Oh, hey. Okay. We've got Mount Comfort coffee from Peru. It's whole bean coffee. I guess that doesn't help. Yeah. Medium roast Peruvian coffee. I'm glad I spent that much time on it. Jacob Fouch says, hey, big no-no. What up, Jake? Metal Odyssey says, can I hang out sober Sunday? I'm Blaze. Of course you can hang out sober Sunday. If you're not sober, you're still welcome here. That's for sure. Can you imagine if I'd been kicked out of events or hangouts when I was still drinking? I would never be allowed to do anything. Yeah, everyone's welcome here. Oliver Hall says, 4 days sober today. Had a bad relapse, but I am back working the steps with my sponsor and getting involved. I am fired up for recovery again. That's awesome, Oliver. Hold on to that fire. Hang on tight during these first few days. I support you. You can do this. And damn it, my screen just dropped to the bottom. Let me see, where was I? Tao Tao says, Tao Tao, it's another person I'd love to meet. You look well. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Tao Tao. I hope you're having a really, really good Sunday. Truly Dooley says, congrats. Thank you. Sean McAllister says, thanks for all the videos, Noah. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Jennifer says, praying for you, Noah, and I'll take those prayers. I really will. Thank you. Solar FN says, I still get it every now and then, so do you know why? I don't. I think you're talking about DP, and I really don't. I just know that for me, controlling as many things as I can and taking full responsibility for as many things in my personal life as far as wellness goes, whether it's diet, sleep, my spiritual work, my psychosocial, spiritual dimensions of wellness, just making sure that I'm controlling the things I can, and participating in my own life in a healthy way as much as possible, and then being as helpful as I can to others. These things mitigate a lot of what can be fleeting symptoms that, I don't know, can make me think I'm regressing or something's going wrong. So just keep trying, keep chipping away. That 1% rule. I know that as a drinker, I'm just regressing. Everything about my behavior, everything about the way I live, what I do, the way I think, it all just goes backwards. So at least when I'm sober, I do know that I can slowly, but surely work my way in the right direction. Chad Allen, another $20 super chat, my man. Dr. Thomas, number 2, sounds legit, bro. Call this a tuition contribution. I'll put it there. Thank you, Chad. Sincerely, thank you, man. I look forward to our talk very much. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a very good day. Yeah, I've been thinking more and more, guys, about I want to get really rooted in my recovery, so I want to be very patient. I don't want to be rash and do anything all of a sudden, but I can see myself in the next year enrolling in a drug and alcohol counseling program. I can see myself getting a bachelor's in psychology, maybe a master's. I can see myself pursuing that field because some of the work that's been done with me in this treatment center has been life-changing and perspective-changing, and has really alleviated and freed me from some traumas and some burdens and some things I thought would never not be there in terms of mental discomforts. So I want to offer that or be able to give that back. Help someone just like me, maybe someone just like you. D. Alex, yup, 10/9/2020, last time I used. Keep it up, man. You've been helping me since 2016. We've been helping each other, dude. Thank you. Green Eyes says, congrats, keep it up. Help so many people. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good day. Alexander Jeremy De Pietra says, does it concern you at all that your T levels at your trough are still high? That would mean your levels post-injection are super physiological. So I did some research on this. I've worked with doctors, and I went to a conference as well where thought leaders, and not just thought leaders, but world experts for hormone replacement all came together. This was in October of 2019. I've been looking at the book this morning. It's this big, huge handout they gave to my dad and I at this conference. I've been thinking about some of the stuff I learned there, refreshing on it. I'm thinking about some of the stuff I learned from doctors in general about TRT when it comes to where your levels are, what's too high, what's too low, what's the goal, and what are we trying to do. I guess what I'm trying to say in so many words is I'm not at this moment particularly worried that my levels are high optimal on my trough day, because it is the testosterone that I take, testosterone cypionate, it's cut with cottonseed oil. So it's a slow releasing thing. I don't take it and then within hours my T suddenly spikes. From the research I've done, it's about 2 to 3 days for that T to spike. And so by the time it's spiking, ideally that's about when I'm troughing. That's my trough day. It's something I want to look more into. I also try to be mindful of the fact that based on what I've been told, right, we're looking at our blood work, sure, but we're also looking at side effects and symptom relief. All three of those things, symptom relief, side effects, and blood work. And right now, symptom relief is incredible. Side effects are essentially none. And my numbers are good. But I have worked on a constitution since being in treatment when it comes to my TRT. And I'm prepared to be on whatever dosage, whatever regimen is truly the safest and the healthiest for my well-being, with the understanding that it is to treat my low T symptoms and not for any other reason. So we'll see where that takes us. You know what I'd really like to do, guys? And I will do this, because I want to continue to be an open book. And I want to be transparent. I would love to get blood work, because I'm on 140 milligrams a week to treat my low T that I was diagnosed with in 2012. But I would love to get blood work every single day of the week and kind of just see what's happening to my body throughout the week. So no, long-winded answer. I just am excited to explore this more. I'm not concerned, because they're not high. They're optimal. They're in an average range. So Metal Odyssey says, I'm 10 days cigarette-free. Ex-smoker of 12 years. That's a big effing deal. Good for you, Metal Odyssey. That's no joke. Mamba Vape says, okay, supporting Oliver. That's great. Cara Fisher says, are you working with your dad while you are in rehab? So for the first 90 days in rehab, and I am currently approaching 120 days, I was not able to do any work with my dad or have any contact really with anyone. They did give me my phone back around week 6 or 7, but in general, I've been fully removed from the real world and just focusing exclusively on learning about my addiction and dealing with my own issues. But I am working again with him now, and I'm excited for the future. Natalie S. says, it's good to see you. It's good to be seen, and it's good to see you too. Curtis Tompkins says, one day at a time. Amen, brother. Kemma Aman says, hi, Noah. Hey, Kemma. How are you? Michael D. Boy says, so cool to see someone my same age, 33, with the amazing strength to stay sober. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. A fellow 33-year-old. Yeah, you know, if I have one strength, it's that I keep trying. I do give myself credit for that. Okay. Beata Pietra says, how are you and your wife? We're doing better and better. It hasn't been entirely easy kind of reintegrating with one another. Not in terms of, I don't want to say this. You've had to come together at this time, and by this time I mean this time around me getting sober, and really plainly look at what was going wrong and what we need to work on as a couple. We've had the opportunity to sit down with a really talented therapist and sort of detail trends and patterns that we've seen, treatment plans for both of us going forward to address codependency, what's known as triangle behavior, which is a rescuer, victim, perpetrator triangle that we have been in one way or another for a long time. We've been trying to tackle really real issues while still learning, wanting, I guess, to be social and figuring out how to hang out and just get to know each other again, but just being very cognizant of the fact that there are things that weren't okay about our relationship that we are not comfortable with anymore and that we want to be better. So we're good, but we've had some really tough talks, and there have been some tears. Donna Scorpio says, you're inspiring to many of us. Thank you, Donna. And I'm continuously inspired by many of you as well. Metal Odyssey says, if you can quit for a day, you can quit for a lifetime. Amen, brother or sister. Jehan Jamie says, hi, I don't know you, but I'm really proud of you after reading your story. I understand how difficult dealing with suicide and depression can be. Congrats on 112 days. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Hey, Moana says, Doug says, cancel to bad thoughts. I like that. Leslie Kern says, Karen says, hi. What's up, Leslie? Guillermo Avali says, Noah, how are you? I'm good, bro. Where are you from? I was born in Orange, California, but I'm essentially from Portland, Oregon area. You should do 50 things about me. That's a great idea. I'm assuming that's some sort of like trend for video, but I like that. I'll make an alert for it. 50 things about me. Texting myself right now. When look at her, look at me. 50 things about me. All right. Noted. Solar FN, do you know why I still get DPDR? It's not as much as bad as it used to be 24/7. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that if I'm underslept, the way I feel can remind me a lot of what DPDR felt. If I'm over caffeinated and underslept, same thing. If I have too much sugar or my stress level gets too high, a lot of these things mimic what I thought DPD felt like. OSU, been there, man. Currently going through it. Went through detox. I'm also on TRT and seeing the doc for some anxiety and meds, which is part of why and what the issue is. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that, man. And hang in there and just keep getting dialed in. A lot of this stuff takes a while to get dialed in. It really does. Thank you for sharing. Solar FN says, and I'm getting better slowly. It's been a year next month. Yeah, and a year can feel like a lifetime. Hell, a day, guys, can feel like a lifetime if you're having any sort of mental health issues, right? If you're having mental health issues. So for whatever it's worth to Solar FN, my mental health stuff really, I mean, year one was close to impossible in my mind to survive. Almost impossible. Year two is a bit better. Year three, a bit better. And then we've had some ups and downs with alcohol. But my point is, as time has gone on, things have gotten better. So hang in there. Curtis Tompkins, one day at a time. You're doing incredible. Thank you, Curtis. Melanie Gagnat says, Mini Green, you are a great help to the world, for the world. Thank you, Melanie. I hope you're having a good day. Kirsten Shanzer says, hi, Noah. Good to see you. Always good to see you. And I'm sending you so much love and courage. I know you're going through some tough stuff, so you're not alone. Bagwinder Singh says, have you been sober before? If so, what's the longest you've been sober? Yeah, I have been sober before. I think I got 18 months, 19 months once. I certainly know that I got a year 3 separate times since I was 19 years old. Charles Andruski. In recovery, they talk about letting go of future outcomes to help us to be more flexible and less rigid. Sundays are bittersweet. Hate that Mondays so close. Perfect example. Good share, Charles. I like that a lot. Thank you. OSU, absolutely. I got diagnosed with PTSD from experiences and got a therapy dog. Yeah, that's wonderful. Leslie Curran says, congratulations on sobriety. My dad is a recovering alcoholic. He went to Alcoholics Anonymous for several years. Yeah, I just went to a meeting this last Friday. Thank you for sharing. I'm happy for your dad. Thanks for the kind words. Udar says, hey, Noah, I am 2 months sober, and I wanted to ask you, do you think there is a link between alcohol abuse and OCD intrusive thoughts? Yes. I think there is a massive, massive, massive link, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's highly, highly explainable. How did you get treated for GERD, if you ever heard of that? I did hear that. So in terms of GERD, or at least for me what was chronic acid reflux, just cleaning up my diet, period, and adhering to a healthy sleep schedule and all of those things, it lent itself well to my acid reflux. I know that it was out of control when I was consuming alcohol the way that I consume alcohol as an alcoholic. So simply having a healthier lifestyle and diet did it for me. OSU, which I definitely think was a part of your system. Absolutely. Okay, Oliver Hall, agreed 100%. I didn't realize how much my childhood affected me nowadays, 37. The things I am learning about how our brains wire as kids, what the implications are for us as adults, it just blows my mind. It just absolutely blows my mind. We all should explore that, I think. Jennifer Wilger says, hey, Noah, watching from Connecticut. That's cool. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Looking great. Thank you, Jennifer. That's cool. Solar FN, Noah, what's your Instagram? It is Big No No. Big Now Now. I don't post terribly often, but I'm trying to take this whole being an online person more serious, so I hope I do. I'd like to. Bangwinder Science says, if I was you after reading all these comments, I would need a drink, but that not the way forward, is it, mate? No, man, it's not the way forward for me. I like doing this sort of thing. I feel lucky that there are people kicking it with me right now. I mean, you're a real human being, and you're watching my live stream, so I'm thankful that you want to spend a couple of minutes with me. So, yeah. Blue Cools 79. How is living at such facility? Do you guys go grocery shopping, cook together, go malls for haircuts and stuff, out for meals? So being in rehab, inpatient rehab, is a trip. I've done it 3 times, and so help me God, this is going to be the last time I need to experience something like this. I get to experience it. It has been incredibly helpful and useful, just very difficult at times. You have a really tight schedule in your first 90 days. My program is a 5-month program. You're up at 5 a.m. You're out the door for morning modalities at 6 a.m. You're back at 10. You cook. By noon, you're at the clinic. We're taking public transportation to get there, me and my team. We do addiction education, therapy, group therapy. Then we come home. Mondays we go grocery shopping. Someone on the team might have a car, so they might not. So a lot of it is just taking the bus there. They give us little special extra treats here and there, like they'll provide extra money to get food. Restaurants are closed, so we can't eat out. Can't go anywhere without one of your teammates. I can now that I'm out of my first 90. Weekends are open, but you have to be with people. We have house meetings. I'll do a video on my YouTube channel detailing what my life has been like every single day for the last 4 months. That's a good question. We did go to a mall. I didn't have any money, so I just stared at the people making Cinnabon. It was awesome. Donovan Darius Foundation says, does it frustrate you that you can't control your thoughts? It's frustrating to me and makes me feel helpless. It is frustrating. It is frustrating. But you know what? I have learned to establish a bit of control over these thoughts. Certainly I've learned how to respond differently to them, influence them, which then slows them and or tempers them completely. Donovan, so be sure to check out my video tomorrow. It's a plug, of course. We're going to talk about ABC therapy, which has been really helpful. But I can tell you, excuse me, Donovan, is that most of what's going on with my thoughts that I've been instructed and I'm learning from a really, really talented counselor, it's not so much that I'm having the thoughts, but I'm responding to the thoughts and I'm taking them very personal. And I'm not reality testing my thoughts. So something they teach us in treatment is to use a tool called CCC. Catch it, check it, change it. So if I think something that creates a hormone response, a stress response, I'm supposed to pause, ask myself what happened, kind of like decide, has this happened in the past? Do I know what's going on here? Is it true is the main question I need to investigate. If it's not true, then I can move on. And know that for me as an alcoholic, it is my brain's attempt to get me to go back to drinking one way or another. OSU, Derek Lambert says, big no-no, I'm really proud of you, bro. How do I contact you? I don't really have, thank you, first of all, Derek, I appreciate that. As far as contact goes, I mean, getting a hold of me is hard. It's just hard to get a hold of me. I set pretty strict boundaries around stuff like that. So getting a hold of me here, of course, I'm so happy to hear from you. And I do have I do have something set up right now because I was trying to figure out how do I, for those that really want to get a hold of me, how do I figure this out? And I did put a thing on my PayPal, which I'm putting in my description box and experimenting with. If someone wants to donate, then I'll reach out to them. But being that I'm not a professional, being that I'm just sharing my life experience and I'm in treatment in particular right now, I have to really limit how I get in touch with people at the moment. There's really no way for me to say that where I don't feel slightly insecure, so I'll have to process that question more. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Oh man, I'm falling way behind like usual. Morgan Williams says, first sober weekend in a very long time. It's a big effing deal, Morgan. Good job. OMG Invalid. Howdy pimp. Slow pimping. Metal Odyssey says, I have BPD disorder, bipolar, okay. I smoke bud to help that and major bladder issues that don't help the depression and anxiety that comes with BPD. Gets better. Laugh at your problems. Gets better. Thank you for sharing. Panos CH says, how can I help myself with studying anxiety at university? Studying anxiety at university. That's a great question. I think talking about it is always a good idea. Other than saying something like, take care of yourself in general, and respect yourself and treat yourself kindly and live in a way that's in accordance with your value in terms of how you talk to yourself, how you eat, who your friends are. I'd say practice and perhaps not leaving, this is just off the top of my head, but perhaps not leaving any studying to the last minute. Maybe create a routine that makes you feel like you have the time to study, perhaps a morning routine. Research. Just don't give up. But that's not in my wheelhouse, that's for sure. I know for me that my favorite time to learn and study is right when I wake up in the morning. If I can get my sleep schedule dialed in, which I have in treatment, I really enjoy getting up extra early, doing my chores, drinking some water, drinking a little bit of coffee, and that's a really, really great time for me to read, take notes, stuff like that. So scheduling it, I guess. Armin Sading says, so glad you're back, man. Love you, man. Love you too, bro. Thank you. Mama of 5 struggled this last week with wanting to use I used pain pills back in the day and have had hiccups here and there over the last 10 years. It's hard, but I got past my urges, found out my dad has cancer. Oh, that's awful. I'm really, really sorry to hear that, Mama of 5, and I thank you for being honest and open about your struggle. It definitely can be a struggle, but sounds like you worked through that struggle, and from what I'm learning about how the brain works, you're showing your brain and teaching your brain that you don't just respond automatically to the path of least resistance to try to get your highest dopamine response, right? And giving your brain a chance to rewire, reset. So get help, get support if you need it, and just thanks for being honest with us. Dirk Diggler says, happy on your sobriety, bro. Dirk, it's good to hear from you. Thank you. Alex says, hey, Noah, can you share anything about how to handle shame from previous alcohol binges? Sobriety looks good on you, Noah. Thank you. And I really can. This is a great question. I can because I've been dealing with, well, I've dealt with it a lot in treatment, and I've cried over it a lot in treatment. So what we learn in rehab, what I've been learning in rehab is that I need to separate the disease, right, from myself, my brain from my mind. Essentially, I came in over-identifying with my alcoholism and really seeing it as a part of who I am. When what they're trying to get me to understand, and this has been easier with time because my behavior, my thought patterns, they've been more congruent with something I respect, but what they've helped me understand over time is that I'm not my disease, and I'm not to personalize what has happened. I have to take responsibility for my actions, particularly if there are set consequences that can't be avoided. But something that helps me with the shame is remembering that the disease model, right? Addiction is a brain disease that affects your thinking, your behavior, and the way you socialize with other people, clinically speaking. So the things I did in my disease state do not reflect who I really am. And having been sober for almost 4 months now, that truth is a lot easier to accept and believe and to rest on. So I think learning about addiction has been incredibly, incredibly helpful, working with a therapist, and then each and every day building rapport with myself as a sober person and as my true self helps me distance myself from toxic ownership over my past and the things that I did. I don't think I'm that guy. I just think I was sick and I did some things that reflected that. Hope that helps, because that was really, really tough for me. Felicia Palmer says, my dad is sober, I am not. Do you think my non-sobriety is affecting him? I don't know, Felicia. I couldn't possibly say. I think you could ask him, though. I think that'd be very brave of you. It really just depends. But, you know, beyond that, your dad's an adult. Your dad's a grown-up. It's on him to set boundaries. It's on him to take care of himself and get support that he needs. But I think having a calm, respectful conversation is a good idea. But ultimately, your dad's a grown-up, and he should be able to protect himself. And in that way, he's not being ruled by you or anyone else. Charles Andrzejewski. Boy, I struggle with these names. Bill Doggy. This coffee is really hitting me. Bill W. talks about there will be more emotional hangovers in our recovery efforts than actual physical hangovers. Why did I say that? Why am I resenting that person, etc.? Yeah, absolutely. Emotional hangovers are real. Just learning how the brain works in addiction is very exhaustive. And I've learned about myself that my brain has a tendency to have a stress response to everything. And I have wildly unregulated emotions and hormonal surges in my body telling me something's wrong, being on alert for danger, fight or flight. It's taken a while for that to get under control. And it makes a lot of sense why it's been so difficult for me to get out of the first few days sober, the first week sober, God forbid, the first month. Because I'm in a disease state, I'm in a hypersensitive state in particular, and then there's post-acute withdrawal syndromes and all these other things we're learning about. I don't handle change very well as an alcoholic. There's a lot of literature and research to express that. Mama Vape says, at Mama of 5, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Funky Kong 19 says, did you sue VIVITROL for your adverse reaction? I did not. Yeah, I never did. I think we reached out to the manufacturer to talk about side effects, but I don't think anything ever came of it. Mama 5 says, this Sober Sunday is a great idea. I need something like this to help. Told myself if I don't get to watch a favorite show till the end of a month if I stay sober. Sounds silly, but I think it'll work. Hey, I think whatever gives you a little something to help boost you is great. And thank you for the kind words. Drunken Sessions. What's up, guys? Enjoying some Coke with red wine late in the evening. Hope you don't judge. No judgment. But I imagine if you get too expressive on what you're doing, I might pause some of your shares. But otherwise, no, kick it. I probably wouldn't have. I wouldn't have glorification going on this stream. Jennifer Wilgus says, "Hey Noah, watching from Connecticut. Love your channel. You look amazing. I'm going on almost 3.5 years now being sober." That's so awesome, Jennifer. That's really, really awesome. Good for you. Paving the way for guys like me. Jacob Foch says, "Do you have a booger in your left nostril?" I don't know, but if I didn't, now you got me to pick my nose on camera. So you win. Either way. I don't know, dude. That's funny. OSU have they spoke to you about head injuries in the past? I had a doctor say that, and another thing I've experienced can contribute to addiction issues. No head injury, but I have a lot of other predispositions, that's for sure. Charles says, "I'm a SUD and am age counselor. You'd be great at it." Substance abuse disorder. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Charles. Yeah, it's something that definitely I have a lot of interest in. And I appreciate the kind reinforcement. Shayna VVV says, "Hey, you helped me." Good. Thank you. Udar says, "Sometimes I think about my friends who can enjoy alcohol and it makes me sad." Yeah, I used to think about that a lot more. It's just, I've never had the experience that my normal friends have with alcohol. I really haven't. And so I can't relate. And in that way, I don't wish I had that because I just don't. I don't know. How do I explain this? That used to be a big issue for me as well. Why can't I drink like other people? But the way my brain works as an alcoholic, it's like I would never want to almost. It's confusing to me how other people drink. I suppose all that is to say I understand. Kirsten Shanzer says, "Went through about 3 programs over the course of 6 months. Outpatient type at the hospital for mental health and addiction. Even checked myself into the psych ward for about a week. Kind of fell off." But I just have so much respect, Kirsten, with your kiddos and everything that you go through, that you're still fighting, you're still trying, and you go through so much. You're very brave, I think. And you're a survivor. And I think stability and contentment is going to happen for you. I just believe that for you very much. Mama of 5 says, "You should ban anyone trolling." Agreed. Kirsten says, "From it all, mid-2020, blackout drunk, no coping skills, really struggling, still am, considering programs again, or even a rehab stint myself. I appreciate all you have to offer. Thank you." Look, rehab has saved my life, and the person I was when I came in, I couldn't be more removed from that man. If there's a voice in you, and this is just my opinion, but if there's a voice in you that says, "I'm desperate, I'm scared, and I can't do this anymore," and you have the opportunity to get help, the making that leap is so incredibly uncomfortable because you're not even in your right mind. I wasn't even in my right mind, but a little glimpse of the true me was screaming for help. And I was so scared, and there were so many fears. But I can't imagine not having gone. It's like I unplugged from the matrix and I woke back up to reality, and I'm so glad. So just know that if you need to go, I implore you to go. It could save your life and change things forever. Priestley Toast 39 says, "Hey, Noah, you the man, brother. Thank you, dude." Every time I hear that, I'm just like, dude. I just want to get like this sort of like, it's like beach walking vibe when I hear brother. Rumble Review says, "You gotta look into genetic testing for diet needs." Yeah, I think that's a solid comment. Umar Malik says, "What's your thoughts on DHEA or pregnenolone? It can assist in depression." I don't have any formal thoughts. This is where I wish I could tag my naturopath, reach out to my dad, see what he thoughts about pregnenolone, DHEA. I believe I take these supplements. I just don't have the language to explain it or be of use in that way. Mama of 5 says, good, you guys are talking to each other. All Stars says, Noah, I have DPDR. I got my blood results back from taking your advice, and it came back as all clear. Not sure if it measured T, though. Should I get a self-test kit? Yes, I think you are. 100%. I think you should, excuse me. No, go away. Definitely get tested for all hormones. And I think everyone watching this, if I still have your attention, and this is not for personal gain, I won't even plug a link. I think everyone should get all of their hormones tested at least once or twice a year. You should know. Everyone should know if they're thyroid, if they're FSH, LH, obviously if they're testosterone, they're estrogen, they're free testosterone. We should all know. We live in a very toxic world, certainly live in an extremely high stress world, particularly right now, but no matter what. I just think it's one of those things that should be done prior to psych meds, if it can be helped. OSU says, curious what your levels were at. I have a 200 milligram a week injections, and mine was at around 310. Have you noticed any side effects as far as anger that caused you to drink more? Glad you are doing better. Man, been watching you for a while. I think we're talking about my tea. No, I've been on my same standard regimen for many years. No side effects, and certainly no anger. My anger issues, I've realized, have come from not understanding how my brain was working, not just being an active alcoholic in a disease state. That explains my anger issues more than anything else. What little anger issues I did have, but I did have them, that's for sure. Joey Landoli says, hey man, been a huge fan for over 3 years now. Appreciate that. I entered a derealization, depersonalized state 3 years ago when I got Lyme disease. I've heard of that. I'm so sorry. And I've ultimately spent over 1,000 days alone since then. Oh, that's a really sad way to put that. I'm trying to raise money for treatment for my Lyme disease. Do you think you could do me a huge favor and share my GoFundMe story? It would literally mean the world to me. So Joey, I couldn't just, I think you've reached out to me before. This sounds familiar. It's not something I can just off a whim ask people to go support you, but if you reach out to my business account, the Thomas Visions, I'd be willing to look at it again and do my homework there. I certainly want you to be able to raise money for the help you need. I have to look into it a little bit and just verify and validate it. Help you understand. But stay brave. Know that you're worthy and know that you deserve support. That's for sure. So reach out to that account, please, by email. thomasvisionsllc@gmail.com. That's my business email. Marla Robinson says, you would make a wonderful therapist, Noah. Thank you, Marla. I hope you're having a good Sunday. Lucas Bracken says, much love, man. I'm trying to get sober. Keep trying. Keep trying and then try again. Don't give up. It's really nice to wake up and actually be your true self. That's what I'm getting to experience right now. It's not always easy, but it's actually real to me. I love that. I love that. I'm going to hang out for about 12 more minutes, team. So I'm going to try to get through as many of these comments and questions as I can. Drew Porter says, hey Noah, just wanted to let you know that I also was diagnosed with low T since 2014, but did not get treatment until 2018. It's been a rewarding experience and your videos helped me out greatly. Good for you. I just have a hard time informing those that do not know. I feel like less of a man sharing it with coworkers and friends. My family and girlfriend know. Any advice? This is something I've struggled with as well, and I want to make some content around that. It is not the easiest thing to come to terms with the fact as a man, for me, that I wasn't able, for whatever reason, there's a myriad of possible reasons, but I wasn't able to produce the most vital hormone required for a man to be mentally stable and physically sound. But I think the most adult alpha thing anyone can do, male or female, I just more use that word loosely as a metaphor, is to take care of themselves and to accept their situation and where they're at. And then beyond that, Drew, what I would say to you is make sure above all else that you are congruent with your values when it comes to why you got help. And make sure you can soothe and support yourself through that. Make sure that your own validation is truly all you ultimately need. Because if it's not, you, just like I have been, one way or another, will be victim to the perceptions and the belief systems of other people, many of which we don't fully understand. Life is incredibly complicated. We have incredibly particular situations. And we don't need to explain ourselves to anybody. The only person you need to be able to look in the mirror and truly convince that everything's okay is yourself. Now, if you started TRT for the wrong reasons, or you're abusing it, or cutting corners, or you're using it as an excuse to not take care of yourself in other ways, then that's something that you need to address within yourself. That could be where your morality and your values might be getting skewed. That might lend itself to a bit of your shame, potentially. And I'm just grasping. I haven't talked to you. But this is something I was dealing with. So if everything is aligned there, there's nothing more beautiful than someone taking ownership over their health. And I mean, we all have issues. We all need help. You wouldn't tell the person who has bipolar disorder that they should be ashamed that they need lithium to even out. You wouldn't tell the diabetic that they're less of a person for needing insulin, right? You wouldn't tell the person who suffers from clinical depression that their stability and their peace of mind and their ability to function is less valuable because they need an SSRI, for example. And you wouldn't tell the man who's hypogonadal that there's something less or wrong about him for needing hormone replacement therapy. So I hope that helps you. And essentially the message I just relayed there is one that I wish I could relay to myself from some time back. Yeah. Jesse girl? No, gosh, no. I'm thinking like 10 more minutes. Does that sound okay? And then I'm down to train here. Yeah. Yeah, it's just getting late. Yeah. My wife and I are going to do a garage workout. K-Drop says, thank you for making the porn addiction vid. I'm dealing with it also. Quitting is not easy but possible. Cheers from Toronto. Yeah, you are welcome. It's definitely not easy. I've been in a rhythm before in my life where I was looking at porn daily, and it wasn't healthy and it wasn't good. And life without it is much better for my mental health, my self-esteem, and my marriage. So, good for you. Sarah L says, hi Noah. Hey Sarah. Kelly Marshall says, hey Noah, sending you positive vibes. Thank you, Kelly. Sending you positive vibes as well. Lizzle Van Rensburg says, beer, sober 1 year, 5 months now from alcohol. Been sober. I would read that as beer. Been sober 1 year, 5 months. That's a big deal. And good for you. Good for you. Stone Bizzle says, Noah, not in the best place to watch live, but I love you and your content. I'm proud of you and I wish you the best of luck. Keep on with the content. Thank you. And I'm just sending you some love today. I'm just sending you some hope. I'm sending you some peace of mind. And I'm sending you some self-love and self-kindness. Can you tell that I've been doing a lot of yoga and treatment? But for real, I don't know what you're facing. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you remember you're not alone. Big Much No says, I'm back. That's funny. Michael D. Boyd, 50 things is a great idea. We would all love it. Dope. I'll look into it. I'll do it. I'm going to do it. Udar says, what is DPDR and how do you? I'm assuming you're going to say, how do you know? DPDR is depersonalization, derealization disorder. For me, it was essentially like being stuck in a dream-like state where you feel detached from your reality. Very scary stuff. Lots of support, though, and it can get better. Personal info says, almost 3 years sober from not drinking. Watched your videos during my first month. Helped so much. Yeah, I'm glad I could help you back then, and I'm beyond glad that people like you are staying sober and wanting to be sober and showing me like someone who's new again. It can be done. It's a big deal. Grandma's show says it's been 3 years off pills. Good for you. It's wonderful. Nemesis breaks. Noah, are you back at home now? I'm back at home right now, guys. I'm not done with treatment. I'm just home for the weekend. Big Mushno says, do you believe in Bitcoin as a store of value? Believe it or not, I put all my money, 27K, into ETH. That's so interesting that you brought that up. Guys, I could not know less about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. I have no real, thanks to my wife, we have some savings, but I want to learn everything I can about how to be financially viable, or not viable, yeah, that too, but responsible, how to save, how to invest. I am going to try to grow up on camera in front of you over this next year or two in my recovery. There's so many things I need to learn about that I'm behind on. Yeah, that's one of them. I have no comment. I'm so confused about that stuff. Udar says, how can we deal with shame having mental issues? I think you can reach out for support, and I think you can just look for groups to help soothe you and remember that it's very pervasive, it's very common. Mental health issues are common. So listen to testimonies and just get familiar with your mental health issue, and just remember that you're not alone. And there is no shame in having mental health issues. Deadhead says, can we hang if we're not sober? Hell yeah, you can hang if you're not sober. Absolutely. Luan Swanapoel says, hey Noah, I'm not sure if I'm suffering from just bad anxiety or schizophrenia. How to distinguish between the two? I think you should see a professional. Immediately, 100%. Get support, but get professional support. There's no way for me to tell. And there's no reason you have to carry that burden alone. Tide Cold Wash says, starting SSRI treatment Saturday. My girlfriend went through panic disorder, OCD, DPDR like me, and she had insanely good results after only a month. Her mental health is amazing right now. Wish me luck. That's wonderful. Wishing you so much luck and support. Good for you. Grandma Show, have you ever heard of PA? I'm not entirely sure what PA you're what that acronym stands for. So I guess I'm not sure. Eddie Vasquez says, hope you're feeling better. I am, Eddie. Thank you. I hope you're doing well today. Callie Love says, what happened to your dad's license? It was suspended on an emergency basis based on a study he released showing that the kids in his practice that had been fully vaccinated were over the course of, let's say, I think it was 12 years, presenting more health issues than the kids who are unvaccinated. Very controversial. Don't know why, but it is. But you're welcome to look into that more if you want to. But they didn't like that, the Oregon Medical Board. Metal Odyssey says, yeah, my last ex, literally all this crazy fear of abandonment and paranoia and deep emotions and fear came out. Then I slowly learned I was BPD. I thought she was a narcissist, but she only had those tendencies, and she suffered from bipolar. And what are you to do? Life goes on. You can help who you love. You can't help who you love. Very, very true. And thank you for sharing that. It must have been really, really hard. Eddie says, don't drink. Deal. Thanks, Eddie. Straightforward to the point. And I appreciate that. Raymond Rubio says, does your legs get weak, feel like giving out, or heavy to walk? After I do a lot of exercise sometimes, but otherwise, no. Danielle Adams says, sending lots of love, and I'll take that love. Thank you, Danielle. Sending it back. Gloria Young says, I believe you would make a great counselor. Thank you. I think I would too. I just have to make sure I'm taking care of myself and being healthy about my choices. But thank you, Gloria. I hope you're having a good day. Zach Godschalk says, guys, I'm on the verge of relapse and I can't get this thought of going to get Xanax and just forgetting all my worries for that moment. I can't stand this battle 24/7. Zach, thank you for being honest. I recognize that thought. I certainly know the feelings that are attached to them. When I was in my addiction, I was in a compulsion, physical craving, and drug-seeking behavior cycle nonstop. In treatment, we learned that there's 4 phases to a relapse. There's the obsession phase, where we're thinking about it, but we still have the opportunity to access the logical, reasonable part of our brain to counter these faulty beliefs, to counter this euphoric recall, to play the tape through, to use insight, attunement, body regulation like breathing, just to fight the fact that we know that our disease is talking to us and we can reality test things. But once we get into compulsion, this is just stuff I'm learning, we need someone else to help us. We don't realize when we've gotten to a compulsive state. Once we get into physical cravings, from what they teach us, it's too late. It's too late once we get there. And then, of course, there's actual relapse. So, Zach, I think the better part of you, the real you, is crying out here and saying you're on the verge of relapse because that you knows that your brain is playing tricks on you. I hope you call someone or go be with someone right away. You can't get past this. It's not the real you that's saying these things. It's just your addiction. It's very powerful and it's very uncomfortable. And it can get better. And just try to play that tape through. Try to regulate that body if you can. I don't know where you are in the phase of in the cycle of relapse, but if you're sober right now, there's still a chance that you don't have to plug back into the matrix, my friend. It won't help you. But I understand that feeling. I lived there for years. And I'm grateful that I'm not there right now. Big Much No says, this is totally unrelated, but Ethereum just passed all-time high. I'm happy. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you're happy. Alvidrez79, man, I'm in a bad spot again. Coronavirus messed me up. Seemed to attack my nervous system. Horrible anxiety, panic again. 2 weeks straight now, hoping I can pull through again. Good to see you. You certainly can pull through again. I'm really, really sorry you're in a rough place, though. That's awful. And just be brave. Yeah, I'm just really sorry. And I hope it gets better really, really soon. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye there. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who chose to spend some time with me. I've been on here for an hour. My wife and I are going to spend a little more time together. But I am thankful for each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. And you make me feel like a lucky man. So we'll see you guys hopefully next Sunday. My intention is to be doing a live stream every single Sunday. That's the plan. My schedule is changing here soon. Got about 40 days left of treatment or less. I complete my program March 1st. So anyway, thank you. I know that you're wanted, needed, and appreciated. Have a good rest of your day. Let's kick ass this week. Let's hold ourselves accountable. Let's be the best versions of ourselves that we can. Let's be kind to ourselves and others. That's my intention for myself. That's my hope for all of us. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I do have a release coming up tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that if you want, if you have time. I'm going to talk about ABC therapy. It's a reality testing thing that's been really helpful to me in treatment. Hopefully it can help you. And yeah, see you later, guys. Thank you.